Welcome to Llandow for the second round of the FAB-Racing British Minibikes Championship here at sunny Llandow. Let's look at the Pitbike 140s and straight away let's dive into the commentary box. So we have Rossi BANHAM starting in pole position after an incredible qualifying lap, closely followed behind Reece PEACOCK, and then in third place Taylor Lawrence, fourth Chris Wells, Darren Anderson, who you've just seen in the Moto team race, starting in fifth place, Lucas Brown starting in sixth, Nathan RIGGEY starting in seventh, Charlie NESBITT, another big name, current Superstock 1000 rider, starting in eighth, Cameron SOOLE in ninth, Jamie King in 10th, Sean Whittaker in 11th, Marco Pandolfo in 12th, Jake Archer 13th, Trystan FINOCCHIARO, previous FAB-Racing commentator, and now has came back and brought Spanish weather with him here in South Spain, and Max Perry rounds out the top 15.
Yeah, absolutely, really good grid. It's going to be fantastic to see this as we can see all the riders on the track at the moment. We can see the number 29 there just giving a little wave. Oh, sorry, that's 128, I believe, or 37. I can't quite read it from here. Number 2, so it will be 29. Reece PEACOCK. Yeah. So he's just giving a little wave to his competitors for this. It's going to be a sensational race. Look at this. This is absolutely incredible. See 31 bikes on the same bit of tarmac. Absolutely is incredible as we are looking at Trystan right now, and obviously so he does a little bit of commentating, lives in Barcelona now, which is a very nice place to live, and now coming out racing in the UK. So it's going to be a very interesting race, I think. Who would you say you've kind of got your money on? Maybe not one driver, but a few that could be very well. I could imagine the top 5, but So right, okay. So we have a few. We're just hearing in my ear. There are a few drivers that are actually late to the grid. Riders that are late to the grid, so they will start from the back, or maybe not even start the race at all. We're not too sure.
It looks to be Charlie NESBITT is one of the riders that is down, that is at the pit lane waiting to be released on the right hand side. I do not know who the other rider is right now. I believe it may be Max Perry, as he's not in his pits, in his grid slot. Sorry, yes he is. Jake Archer, sorry, I think is also the other rider that may be starting from pit lane or at the back of this grid. This is such a close class. Watch Rossi BANHAM, watch Taylor Lawrence, watch Reece PEACOCK, watch the whole grid as we wait for the lights to go. And lights are on, and lights are off for the Pitbike 140 race here in Llandow. Rossi BANHAM gets a good start, but even better is Reece PEACOCK. Reece PEACOCK leads the way with Rossi BANHAM closely behind him. An okay start as Taylor Lawrence. It's not probably what he wanted. He is down in, I think, 4th place right now, but Rossi BANHAM is going to be wanting to try and bridge up the gap and pass straight away, because one thing we know about his racing is it's close, hard-fought racing, as we see in the bright orange levers, as pointed out by Alex, is Trystan FINOCCHIARO. He has worn the biggest and brightest levers he could possibly bring to FAB-Racing to remind everyone, hi, it's Trystan, I'm back. But anyway, as we lead the way to finish the first lap, Reece PEACOCK still leads the way from Rossi BANHAM, but one thing we do know about this Pitbike 140 race is that the likes of Rossi BANHAM will not go down easy.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Rossi BANHAM, a very well-known name in this championship, as we see. Obviously, Reece PEACOCK taking the lead. They're obviously setting the fastest lap as well. There has been quite a few little changes. Obviously, Trystan now to P14 from 15, so he's getting a position, and quite a few of the drivers have getting a position too. Adam Redding dropping down a few places as well. As we are currently looking at a stretch of tarmac as we wait. There we go. Wait for these two riders as we now see all the riders filtering through here. This is the lead, so this is the 96, which is not thing. As we're looking at the lead, is it going to be Rossi BANHAM? Rossi BANHAM, I think, has taken the lead. What a fantastic move. The 196 moves up into first place. Lawrence gets up into third. Chris Wells down to P4, so 2 moves in 1 corner there. Absolutely sensational.
Yeah, it certainly is. Taylor Lawrence setting a 50.1. That is 3/10 faster than their current race leader, Rossi BANHAM. One thing from watching this weekend is Taylor Lawrence. I noticed that led. His riding style is so extreme. He almost gets his elbow on the ground on these little Pitbike 140s. He is so fast. So just like Rossi BANHAM, which right now is just trying to escape the clutches of Reece PEACOCK, who seems to be lacking behind a little bit as we head on to the back straight now with just 10 laps to go of this race. Rossi BANHAM's touching the back brake there. Looks just getting the back end out a little bit, trying to help get the bike turned as he leads the way with just 9 laps to go and setting the fastest lap of the race with a 49.9. That is not too far off the lap records. We're in the 49s now. It is incredible pace that Rossi BANHAM is showing, but Taylor Lawrence is currently in 3rd place, and I do not think that this race is over yet.
Absolutely not. No, it would be rather foolish to count Reece PEACOCK out for this race as we have 9 laps to go. So we still have a fair amount of laps to go. The lap record here at the PB140s was set by Rossi BANHAM and was at that weekend that we spoke about in October was a 49.229, and he's done a 49.965. So only about kind of 6/10 away from his record that he set. Last time out last October. So Rossi BANHAM still leading this race as we are looking on screen at quite a close little battle there. Not too sure that is. There is, as we know, obviously 31 drivers on this grid at the moment. I think 2 are in the pits at the moment. The 2 didn't start, so they weren't allowed to start the race, it seems, unless they're on trial. That's what our timing is showing us. Rossi BANHAM still keeping that lead. He's got 8/10 between him and Taylor Lawrence in P2, who only has 1/10 back to Reece PEACOCK. So the battle between Lawrence, as we see a move potentially here, and that is the number 10. So Taylor Lawrence, yes, has taken the lead in the final corner and ascending the inside, and wow, Rossi BANHAM, I think he's retaken the lead. No, he hasn't. It is Taylor Lawrence still in the lead from that. That was absolutely sensational. Lawrence with a fantastic move down in the final corner, Lewis.
Yes, it was. Rossi BANHAM will not let this race win go. He will push as hard as he can. We've seen it led fighting at the front. He risked it all getting past some back markers. This class is such close, hard racing. It is just incredible to see. But as we see, Rossi BANHAM still leading the way, I believe, as they head down the Spitfire back straight. But Taylor Lawrence is going down the inside, but he's backed a little bit late. Rossi BANHAM taking the far wider line for the middle of the hairpin there, but Rossi BANHAM leads the way with just 6 laps to go of this race. Taylor Lawrence is looking for any opportunity to get past him, and these sliders are literally scraping along the grass. This is crazy racing.
They are indeed. The knees are firmly flat on the ground. It's absolutely incredible to see Rossi BANHAM obviously in the lead of this race at the moment. But if there's something we know about Taylor Lawrence so far through this race, is he does not give up. And with 6 laps to go, he still could take the checkered flag to win this race. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see where Lawrence has maybe a stronger point, or maybe he can be quicker than Rossi BANHAM in his final kind of stages through the race. We're about halfway through the race right now as we see the 196 of Rossi BANHAM coming through the final corner. There we go, and the 96. 196, there we go, and he is getting very, very, very close to that lap record. That last lap was the fastest lap of the race. It was a 49.4. 4:13. And as I said, the record was a 49.2. So he is very, very, very close to breaking that record. As we know, we already have one lap record broken today. Can he make it too? It'll be very, very interesting to see what Banham and Lawrence can do. So the kind of top 10 at the moment, we'll take you through them. Rossi BANHAM now leads from Taylor Lawrence. Peacock in P3, Wells 4th, Anderson 5th, Lucas Brown P6, Wrigley P7, Soole P8, King 9, and Sean Whittaker P10.
Yeah, certainly. Jamie King, currently in 9th, has also just been out in the Moto team races. We see the front runners just getting past some back markers. Will it hold anyone up? This is when the race really starts to get interesting, as we see Rossi BANHAM struggling to get past the back marker. Will that influence his drive out the corner? We wait and see. Taylor Lawrence will be licking his lips right now. He will realise that there's still a chance for this race victory. We can see more back markers in front of them, that with just 4 laps to go. What will be the outcome of this race? Rossi BANHAM will be trying as hard as they can. Rossi BANHAM getting held up slightly there for the chicane. So it's Taylor Lawrence, as we see a rider is down. That is the number 29, Reece Peacock, out of 3rd, but he's remounted, kept the clutch in whenever he fell there. So while he was in position, I don't actually know if he did, but we're going to have to wait for him to cross the line to find out if he did lose any positions with that fall. If not, that's the best result of it, to be honest.
Yeah. It sounds like we are hearing that there might be oil at that corner, as we've seen possibly. Chris Wells now down, who took P3. Oh no, sorry, it was Chris Wells. Sorry, it wasn't Reece Peacock as well. So Reece Peacock, I don't think he actually lost any positions there, but Chris Wells down to 9th place currently, or potentially even further. We're not too sure what's happening on track there, as we see a whole gang of cars coming down the Spitfire straight. We've seen, I don't know, maybe 1 or 2 flags waved. Yeah, we've seen a yellow flag being waved in the final 2 things. But these are the leaders side by side. This is Taylor Lawrence with 3, or I should say now 2 laps to go, because they've just crossed the start finish line. This race is really not over yet. I'm really getting excited. Now Lawrence is right on the back of BANHAM, so whatever has happened with the back markers has really favoured Lawrence at the moment. Can Lawrence hold, can he push even further to get Rossi BANHAM out of the way to win a race? But let's see, because if there's something we know about Rossi BANHAM, it's he's blooming fast, and we shall see Lawrence maybe go side by side, obviously, as we have 2 laps to go.
Rossi BANHAM still in the lead this race, but there's absolutely nothing in it. I believe the yellow flag is just away at that final chicane, so we should, on this final lap, get some clean racing. I do not believe that the back markers will come too much into play after they get past this lot. But Rossi BANHAM is getting past back markers. It's leaving Taylor Lawrence Taylor Lawrence being held up by back markers for the first corner, but he's going around the outside. Taylor Lawrence is down. Taylor Lawrence is down there. You cannot see it in your screen at the moment, but Taylor Lawrence has crashed out. Rossi BANHAM, all he needs to do is finish this race. He needs to keep calm, and hopefully he'll eventually realise by a sneaky peek behind him that Taylor Lawrence is down on the deck.
Yeah, absolutely. What drama! What absolute drama for this race. Taylor Lawrence is off the track, and just trying to see where Rossi BANHAM is. You won't be able to miss him, because he's in very, very, very bright colours, as I think we're picking up on him now. Here we go. So big finish. He's coming round to the final corner, into the corner, clips the apex, get the knee down, and it's going to be Rossi BANHAM wheelies over the line, who will win race 1 of the Pitbikes 140. And heartbreak for Taylor Lawrence, who unfortunately fell. Not too sure if he managed to keep the clutch in, but that could mean that Reece Peacock, who did actually have a little fall and skid, who did keep the clutch in, he takes P2. Wow, absolutely incredible. So it's looking like Lucas Brown gets on the podium as well. So Rossi BANHAM wins from Reece Peacock from Brown. Riggey is in P4, Darren Anderson P5, Jamie King P6, Chris Wells P7, Marco P8, Trystan up to P9. What a race from him. And P10, Charlie NESBITT. Absolutely incredible there, as we've seen a few drivers drop down the order, going left, right and centre as they come over the line. Lewis, what a sensational race once again.
Yeah, it was exactly what I expected from the Pitbike 140s. I believe Charlie Nesbitt was one of the bikes to start from pit lane, so it was an absolutely incredible result for him to get 10th. And if you were tuning into our coverage earlier on in the day, when we were speaking to Trystan, he was telling me that his hope for the weekend was a top 10, but in race 1 it was just to make it to the end of the race, because he knew how aggressive the Pitbike 140 races actually are, and just that full elbows out. So he completed that objective by getting it home one piece, and got a top 10 by finishing 9th. There he is there on your screen, the rider we were just talking about, Trystan, in the bright orange, sorry, levers, the number 58. He is very happy himself, pointing at number 58, saying, I am back. Because if you don't know Trystan, he was a ex-World Supersport 300 rider and ex-Junior Super Stock rider, and also won a couple of races in the Junior Supersport British Championship. So he's a well-accomplished rider.
So, Rossi BANHAM has pole position for this race, and Reece PEACOCK starts in P2. Taylor Lawrence starts in P3, and in P4 is Chris Wells in the number 62. Darren Anderson is in P5 in the number P56. Then P56, number 56, Lucas Brown in P7, Nathan Riggey in P7, Charlie Nesbitt in. That is incredible sound as I'm going through the grid. Absolutely sensational. Wow, you can really hear those engines. It really vibrates through you. It's absolutely sensational. So, Nathan Riggey starts P8, Charlie Nesbitt P8, Cameron SOOLE P9, Jimmy King at P10. Sean Whittaker P11, Marco Pandolfo is in P12. Jake Archer in P13. The commentator with us, Trystan FINOCCHIARO, starts P14. Max Perry in P15. Zac TOERIEN is in P16. Adam Redding P17. Giorgio SCARLATA in P18. 19. Mark DOODSON in 19. Chadley WHITING in number 20. 21. Dominic GARDNER. 22. Andrew Graham. 23. Roger Muggs. 24. Ben O'Keefe. 25, Keaton PAYNE. 26, Aston DEAN. 27, Ollie WALKER. 28, Dave Glover. 29, Pawel NOSAL. 30, Lewis Wild. 31, Harrison O'Keefe. And finally, wow, that was long, 30, the 32nd bike is the number 89 of Fraser Rogers. You can tell it's a long grid because they left the grid after I started, and they just get into the grid and finalising getting the grid, and I've just finished. So yeah, it's going to be an absolutely sensational race. Sensational race, as I said, as we see Rossi BANHAM trying to adjust a few things on his bike, getting himself into race mode with a very, very bright coloured, bright pink, blue, white, and all the other colours on the bike, the number 196. But he's going to be challenged by Reece PEACOCK in P2, and if they can get a good start, Taylor Lawrence, as we now see the lights are going on any second now. The lights are on, and it's lights out, and away we go. Rossi BANHAM gets a fantastic start, but Taylor Lawrence, a fantastic P2. Yes, he does. What a sensation. Oh, and there is a rider down. Two riders down at the first corner. But let's have a look at Rossi BANHAM. Jamie King was one of them. As we see viewers, we see them up and walking, which is good to see. Rossi BANHAM leads, but as we saw, Taylor Lawrence had a fantastic start there. A really, really fantastic start. We were watching it in the commentary box from there, and it was a fantastic. He even did a little wheelie off the line to get a bit more speed. Fantastic. So I'm not too sure. There we go. We can see Trystan FINOCCHIARO, and it is a red flag. This session has been red flagged just due to that incident. As we now see, I presume the drivers will just come round to the grid. But yeah, a very eventful start. You know, we were expecting something to happen. You know, the 32 bikes on this grid, so there's bound for something to happen. I think all the drivers just talking to each other, making sure everyone's okay. Yes, it's a very, very interesting start. As we can see, it's a good thing we can see the number 62 of Chris Wells and a few of the drivers of PEACOCK and BANHAM and Chris Wells having a little chat together.
I do not believe there's going to be a warm-up lap by the signalling from the riders, from the officials. It looks like we will just go as soon as we start, as soon as the red light comes on. But Charlie Nesbitt, of course, fell off yesterday, and he fell off in the Extreme 200 race and remounted and still got a top 10. So it's going to be really interesting. Nobody can call this race as we wait for this humongous grid to fill up, and then we can go racing. One final check is getting made before we can go racing here. I believe it's signalled at the back of the grid, signalled at the front of the grid. Points to the lights. We wait for the lights to go on. The red lights now appear on. They now go off. That was a very quick start there from Rossi BANHAM. Rossi BANHAM now gets away. It looks like Trystan FINOCCHIARO is stalled on the grid. He's kicking the bike, trying to get started straight, but Rossi BANHAM leads the way from Taylor Lawrence and Reece PEACOCK. Rossi BANHAM and Taylor Lawrence, there's nothing separating them. If you watched the race yesterday, there's nothing separating them. They're all the same. But as we see them leading the way for this first lap, there's going to be nothing separating all race. This is what it's going to look like all race. I can almost guarantee you this Pitbike 140 class is so competitive. They will push each other to the grass in this race. They have no mercy, but they will happily laugh and joke about it off track. It is such a crazy atmosphere that we have here. They're tucking in every single part that they can, going into the final corner to finish this first lap of the race. An awful start was from Trystan FINOCCHIARO, which is of course in last place at the moment after stalling on the grid. It looks like this race will be just try and get more time on the bike, try and get more experience on the bike, and just try salvage something out of it, really, because that is not what you want to do on the grid, is it, Alex?
No, absolutely not. No, it's going to be a very, very interesting race just to see where we can go from here. It's going to be very interesting. Taylor Lawrence obviously up into second place with a fast stop of that's a very fast stop of 1 second lap, a 51.189. As we see Rossi BANHAM having a great fight with Taylor Lawrence. Is Taylor Lawrence going to be able to do anything to get past Rossi BANHAM, because that is not an easy rider to pass. Rossi BANHAM goes defensive and then sweeps to the outside to get as much speed as he can. It's actually kind of power sliding in a bike, which you don't see very often. As we see Taylor Lawrence just behind him. Taylor Lawrence sets the fast stop again at 49.476 from him. A very, very, very interesting battle between these two drivers. We see Reece PEACOCK is only about 8/10 behind these two for the top two, but this is a fantastic scrap, between Taylor Lawrence, and this is going to be another fantastic lap. We've got 8 laps to go. Can Taylor Lawrence do anything? Can he maybe false or fake Rossi BANHAM into a wrong move or to a mistake or somewhere for defending? We will have a look and we will see. Taylor Lawrence is a very quick guy. Rossi BANHAM is a very quick guy, and it looks like he's going to go side by side. He's going to send it. Who's going to come out on top? It's Rossi BANHAM still ahead, but Taylor Lawrence might be able to get alongside. No, he doesn't. Rossi BANHAM does keep the lead of the race. A little bit slower laps from both of them that time around.
Yeah, it's so impressive to watch these riders. They have so much faith in their motorcycles, so much faith in their tyres and the track surface and their ability. I mean, although these are not the fastest bikes in the world, the commitment that you have to be out the front on one of these motorbikes is something that is just incredible. Rossi BANHAM still leads the way from Taylor Lawrence, but Taylor Lawrence is so fast. He tried to make a move at the final corner there at the hairpin, but he couldn't make it work, which slightly compromised his drive. But just watch Rossi BANHAM go into this final corner. He uses the back brake, kicks out the rear end, and trail brakes into the corner. Look at that. He's using the leg slightly to balance it a bit more, make him get some sort of a feel from the track before he tips in and fires it out the corner. He leads the race. He set the fastest lap of the race with 49.4, but so did Taylor Lawrence. He set a 49.4. There's 30,000ths of a second separated them on that last lap. There's absolutely nothing in it. It is crazy to see Taylor Lawrence there you see the picture, slightly different helmet. I actually believe that is Rossi BANHAM's one of the spare helmets, because Taylor Lawrence was involved in an incident in today's warm-up and marked and scratched up his helmet beyond use. So I believe he's actually using one of Rossi BANHAM's old helmets, which just shows how good mates they are off track, but then on track right now, you can see there's nothing in between them. They want to get past each other. They have no mercy on track. They will make any move. Taylor Lawrence looks up the inside of the first corner, but he cannot make it work. Rossi BANHAM still leads this race. This is exactly what we've seen yesterday, Alex.
Absolutely, and just what we've seen today as well. This is absolutely sensational. It's a move trying to go to the inside of Rossi BANHAM there, as we see them trying to navigate some back markers there as well. Rossi BANHAM trying to just get as much of a lead as possible. As you were saying about the environment, it really is nice to see all these drivers so friendly with one another. But as you say, on the track there is no mercy. There is no friendship on track between these two. They both want this win so badly, and I can't blame them as they are so close coming into the final corner. Lawrence just not close enough to send one. It's incredible to see Rossi BANHAM coming through that final corner. It really is. Taylor Lawrence so close to him now, so unbelievably close as they just come out of the first long chicane. It's or the long hairpin. It's fantastic to see these drivers just so fast. It really is. But Rossi BANHAM still in the lead at this moment in time. It really is fascinating to see just how talented these riders are, just how much they are willing to put down on the line. As we see Trystan there in 19th, unfortunately, after that stall on the grid, but he is certainly gaining a few positions, which is fantastic. He really has as well. Obviously, out of the 32 drivers that we have on this grid, he's already up to 19th. What a sensational ride from him, a recovery drive, damage limitations, if you will. Fantastic ride, as we still see Lawrence and BANHAM once again together, as we see Rossi BANHAM at 49.229. This is absolutely fantastic to see, and I believe he's beaten the lap record by 1,000th of a second. The lap record being held by himself with a 49.229. He's just got a 49.228. I've never seen closer margins to a lap record before. It's like it's a time attack, which is absolutely fantastic. But that is Lawrence who has taken the lead away from Rossi BANHAM. Rossi BANHAM will not be happy with that. Coming through the very technical part, can Rossi BANHAM get more? Can he get overspeed on Lawrence? Can he go faster? He's going for the inside. He goes for it. Is he going to come out on top? Yes, he is. But is Lawrence going to get the cut back? Yes, he is. They're neck and neck going over the line. It's going to be Lawrence. Oh, they're side by side. Absolutely sensational. It's a yellow flag been waved. Yeah, yellow flag has been waved, I think. Not too sure, but what a fantastic battle between these two. They were side by side. They were 300ths of a second over the line from each other. They were side by side. That is such a fine margin. We have 2 laps to go in this race. The Marshal getting the last lap flag ready. This is going to be absolutely sensational to see a few changes for position between Charlie NESBITT and Lucas Brown, and a few other drivers changing for position as well. This is going to be absolutely fantastic as they come into the final corner to start the last lap of the race.
Yeah, Rossi BANHAM leads going to his last lap of the race. He will be extracting every little ounce out of this bike. You've seen him the last lap. Taylor Lawrence sat up Rossi BANHAM in the first corner. There's absolutely nothing in, but now back markers get into play. Will Taylor Lawrence get past them quickly? Yes, he will. He will follow Rossi BANHAM. He will push to his absolute limit. They are trying. Oh, Rossi BANHAM saves the high side. Rossi BANHAM's rear end came round and re-gripped and flicked him up in the air, but he keeps on. Taylor Lawrence is right behind him now. Taylor Lawrence can smell blood, can taste blood. He's tried so hard through this final chicane, going into the right-hander before we go down the Spitfire straight for the final time in race 2 here at round 2 at Llandow. As we're trying, we're going towards the final corner. Rossi BANHAM takes a wire line, a sweeping line. He gets out of the corner. Rossi BANHAM wins. There's nothing in it from Taylor Lawrence. 1/10 of a second separates Rossi BANHAM and Taylor Lawrence at the line. Rossi BANHAM taking first place, Taylor Lawrence second, and Reece PEACOCK in third. What an incredible race there. Rossi BANHAM will be absolutely delighted, not only taking the race win and not only saving the crash, but taking his lap record by 1 1,000th of a second. I've never seen anything as close with breaking lap records. Rossi BANHAM doing a wheelie. He is absolutely delighted. Taylor Lawrence will be absolutely delighted. They can both appreciate a great race as we have a look at the top 10 with Rossi BANHAM, of course, taking the race victory by 1/10 of a second, and there is official confirmation of that fastest lap. Taylor Lawrence in second with Reece PEACOCK in third, Chris Wells in fourth, Darren Anderson in fifth, Charlie NESBITT sixth, Lucas Brown in seventh, Jake Archer in ninth, Cameron Soole in ninth, Jake Archer in eighth, and Sean Whittaker in rounding out the top 10. What an incredible race there. They will both be absolutely delighted, and there you see it, a cuddle, a fist bump. They both appreciate a great race, and that is what we love to see.
Absolutely. I tell you what, if we keep having these, if these races keep finishing like this, these are going to become the new boring races. I tell you what, absolutely sensational. We've had so many close finishes on the last lap. That was I will say that has got to be one of the best saves I've ever seen from Rossi BANHAM. They're so nearly high-sided and just supreme bike control, not to high side. They're fantastic, and a fantastic battle between him and Taylor Lawrence, and this time Rossi BANHAM comes out victorious, and again 1,000th of a second. He beats his lap record that he set here on the final weekend in October. 6 of the 9 series that we have, all lap records were broken last time we were here in obviously Llandow last October. That is a sensational lap from Rossi BANHAM. You can't even imagine 1,000th of a second. It's absolutely incredible. It really is. Final race for the Pitbike 140s, and once again this is the championship with 32 riders, so I will have to do the grid practically as they start coming out, because we have that many riders to get through for this championship. So just waiting for the final few of the Minimotos to go into the pit lane. And there's a lot of interest in Trystan FINOCCHIARO, who's obviously one of the commentators for FAB-Racing. Obviously, the last race didn't go too well. I think he just stalled a little bit. I think maybe got a little bit distracted. But yeah, he's back on the grid in 14th place. So maybe and hopefully he can have a better race than he did last time. Well, I say that he went right to the back at the end of lap 1. He was the last. He was the last bike. Obviously because he stalled, and manages to get back up to P14. So let's hope he doesn't stall again, and let's hope he can make some really good progress in the race like he did last time. So obviously the two front riders there, Rossi BANHAM and Reece PEACOCK. This is the loudest class, and me and Luce can certainly feel it in the commentary booth here as they are about to go for their warm-up lap. There we go. A fantastic sound from these 4-stroke motors. Really incredible. The two or three to watch, I would say, would be obviously Rossi BANHAM. Well, as I say, all of them, maybe the top 6 even. We've got Rossi BANHAM, who's starting in the pole position. Reece PEACOCK in P2. Taylor Lawrence in P3. Chris Wells in P4. Darren Anderson in P5, and Lucas Brown in P6, Nathan Riggey in P7, Charlie NESBITT in P8, Cameron Soole in P9 in the 200, Jim King in P10, Sean Whittaker P11, Marken Pandolfo is in P12, Jake Archer in P13, Trystan FINOCCHIARO, who is obviously, as I said, the commentator for FAB-Racing, in P14, Max Perry in P15, Zac TOERIEN in P16, Adam Redding in P17, Giorgio SCARLATA in P18, Thomas DOODSON in 19th, Chadley Whititing in P20, Dominic GARDNER in P21, Andrew Graham in P22, Roger Monks in P23, Ben O'Keefe in position 24, Keaton PAYNE 25th, Aston DEAN 26th, Ollie WALKER 27th, Dave Glover 28th, Pawel NOSAL in P29, Lewis Wild in P30, and Harrison O'Keefe in 31st with Fred Rogers in 32nd place. Another absolutely packed grid for what is the biggest grid of this weekend, and we are about to go lights out and away we go for the final race of the weekend. We're just getting a lovely little thumbs up there and a wave from Rossi BANHAM, which we absolutely love to see. So this is going to be very, very interesting. Waiting until we get a thumbs up. There we go. So the lights are going to go on any second now, and it's lights on and it's lights out, and away we go. Rossi BANHAM gets a fantastic start. Wow, that was number 4, Chris Wells, trying to get on the inside, going into second, and there is someone come off, I think, on the start line. Not too sure what's happened there, as we see Rossi BANHAM, obviously a very commanding lead so far. Chris Wells trying to go for second place, but just gets squeezed down by Taylor Lawrence and Reece PEACOCK, and he must stay P4. Yeah, a really, really good start there. Obviously, Reece PEACOCK in second, Chris Wells up to third, I think. So he managed to overtake Taylor Lawrence going over the line, which is very interesting. All the cars, all the bikes going 2-2 by 2. As we see Rossi BANHAM having a great little scrap with Reece PEACOCK. Because we remember for the last round, this was an incredible race to watch. This was another one that I believe was decided on the last lap as well. As we see a mount to the inside from Reece PEACOCK. He sends it to the inside, but Rossi BANHAM just manages to keep ahead there. Absolutely incredible. So Rossi BANHAM leads from Taylor Lawrence, who has the fastest lap on that lap. Reece PEACOCK down into third position. Lucas Brown into P4th. Chris Wells down into P5. Nathan Riggey in position 6. Cameron Soole in P7. Rossi BANHAM under attack from Taylor Lawrence once again, as we see Sean Wentz get in P8. Marco Pandolfo in P9 and Zac TOERIEN in P10. Trystan in 15 as well. So Rossi BANHAM really, really heavily under attack now from Taylor Lawrence. This is a really, really great defense. Let's see if Lawrence can get a better run onto the Spitfire straight. Rossi BANHAM is defending. Oh no, I think that's yes, that is that about Marco already? I think it might be, or is that PEACOCK? No, that's Taylor Lawrence. Taylor Lawrence actually took the lead briefly there. Fantastic. Taylor Lawrence is in the lead. Not too sure where that happened. That's absolutely fantastic. Rossi BANHAM into P2. Reece PEACOCK just behind them, as we see the gap for, well, the top 5 are covered by only just over a fifth of a second, and this is a thing. I think that's Rossi BANHAM that took the lead away from Taylor Lawrence. Absolutely fantastic, as we're looking at Reece PEACOCK in third place. Yeah, Rossi BANHAM has retaken the lead away from Taylor Lawrence. Absolutely fantastic to see. Very, very, very great riding there, as we see maybe Taylor Lawrence can get back ahead of Rossi BANHAM coming down into the Spitfire straight into the final corner. We see Rossi BANHAM going very defensive there, a leg on the ground, turns it in. Very nice, very, very, very nice indeed. So Rossi BANHAM retakes the lead of the race with a fastest lap of a 50.180, which is a very, very good lap. Lap record here is 49.228 seconds, which was actually done by Rossi BANHAM in the last race. The previous lap record was by Rossi, was a 49.229, so 1,000th of a second faster than the previous lap record. Yeah, absolutely fantastic riding here from Rossi BANHAM. But I say that, and Taylor Lawrence is right on his rear again. It looks like Rossi might have had a bit of a moment there. I'm not too sure, but Taylor Lawrence is right on his back. These two drivers are so committed. They really are committed. Let's see if Taylor Lawrence can go down the inside. I think he might try and send it. I think he just backs out last minute. Yes, he does. Rossi BANHAM in the lead of this race.
Yeah, Rossi BANHAM just six laps to go. Rossi BANHAM leads the way. Taylor Lawrence is just behind. Taylor Lawrence and Rossi BANHAM race so hard but so fair. They have completed the utter trust in each other's racing abilities, as we see Taylor Lawrence looking up the inside, and a small amount of blue smoke actually coming out of Rossi BANHAM's bike. Speaking to him at Lid at the previous run, he did say his bike was not in the best conditions mechanically, but it is working enough to lead the race right now, with Taylor Lawrence looking at the rear end of that bike, wanting to never see it again and wanting just to get in front and then clear off. But this is the Pitbike 140 race. That does not happen. Taylor Lawrence looks up the inside. Taylor Lawrence goes for a dive, but he has to back out at last minute there from Rossi BANHAM, as they go on just to have 5 laps to go in this race. Nothing separating them. 1/10 of a second. Taylor Lawrence gets the fastest lap with a 49.962. That is an amazing lap. A couple tenths off the lap record that was just set in the previous race. Track conditions are up, spirits are up. They are both loving this right now. Look at their extreme riding styles on such a small bikes with such small tyres. That is so low. And there's that puff of smoke again coming out of Rossi BANHAM's bike. But this is not affecting Rossi BANHAM as he's still in front. Taylor Lawrence and him are out of this. Well, Taylor Lawrence is down. Taylor Lawrence goes down just at the entrance to Spitfire Straight. He's trying to pick up his bike and get restarted, as you can't do it, Fab. But it's a kickstart. Will it start? It's not starting. He's trying as hard as he can. He's doing all of his anger from crashing. I think he may have got it started, has he? I don't know, but Rossi BANHAM is now up front by himself. No, he's not got it started. What a disaster there from Taylor Lawrence.
Yeah, absolutely heartbreak there for Lawrence, who's doing such a good ride there. He was putting so much pressure on Rossi BANHAM and unfortunately pushed a little bit too hard and made that mistake there. So Rossi BANHAM just lapping a few back markers there, has the fastest lap. Again, 49.86 is still 6/10 away from the lap that he did in the previous race. But that should be Rossi BANHAM. That should be Rossi BANHAM 2 seconds now to the back of Reece PEACOCK. Lucas Brown in the number 7 machine is now up there, as we see from boarded Trystan. As we see him, Lucas Brown has actually overtaken Reece PEACOCK going over the line. So that is Lucas Brown in second place. Very, very good. Reece PEACOCK has got an issue. Reece PEACOCK has got an issue. He's dropping down the order as well. So not too sure what's happening to this. It seems to be the second place curse. Anyone in second place seems to be dropping down the order. So let's have a look what happened there, not too sure, but Lucas Brown is in second. Charlie NESBITT up to P3, which is absolutely fantastic. Cameron SOOLE only 3/10 behind Charlie NESBITT, so let's see if we can get another rider on the podium this weekend. Rossi BANHAM doing a fantastic job here, 2.7 seconds clear as we have three laps to go. Or when Rossi gets to the line, it will be 2 laps, just like that. So 2 laps to go. So the next time round will be the final lap. Rossi BANHAM has got an absolutely fantastic lead so far. 4 seconds is the gap from BANHAM to Brown. Charlie NESBITT in P3. Reece PEACOCK up to P4. Cameron SOOLE drops down to P5. All the other drivers staying okay in position. Rossi BANHAM. So P1, P2 is Lucas Brown. P3 is NESBITT. P4, Reece PEACOCK. P5, Cameron SOOLE. 6 is Jake Archer. 7th is Nathan Riggey. 8th is Sean Whittaker. 9 is Marco Pandolfo. And 10th, up to 10th, is Trystan, which is absolutely fantastic. So he's gained quite a few positions from where he started. You see Rossi BANHAM coming around the final corner to start his last lap of the weekend for the PB 140 Championship. Rossi BANHAM has driven an absolutely fantastic and perfect weekend from himself. He's been so quick, not just in this, but in the other classes as well. He's really been one to watch this weekend. Absolutely fantastic drive from him. You know, he's set the lap record. He's got the lap record. He's such a fast driver. He's just overtaking a back marker. He's coming just out of the technical part of the track, up onto the little straight, through the right-hander, through the left-hander, and through the right-hander onto the start of Spitfire Straight. As he comes down in the straight, it's going to be another amazing win for Rossi BANHAM, who comes round their final corner to win the 3rd race of the PB 140s this weekend as he wheelies across the line. Absolutely fantastic. Lucas Brown takes 2nd place in the number 7, and Charlie NESBITT in P3. Reece PEACOCK unfortunately had that little issue as well, but Rossi BANHAM wins the race ahead of Lucas Brown and Charlie NESBITT just behind. So top 10 in that race. Rossi BANHAM, obviously we've seen, has won. Lucas Brown in P2. Charlie NESBITT is in P3 with Reece PEACOCK in P4. Then we've got Jake Archer in 5th position with Cameron SOOLE. We just see Trystan there. There we go. He didn't stall this time, which is lovely to see. So he managed to finish P10 with the best lap of 51.43 seconds and 21 seconds to P9, I believe. Oh no, I think that's to the leader. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. to see there. So let's do the top 10. Rossi BANHAM takes the win away from Lucas Brown. Charlie NESBITT is in P3, Reece PEACOCK in P4, Jake Archer is in P5, P6 is Cameron SOOLE, P7 Nathan RIGGEY, P8 Sean WHITTAKER, P9 Marco PANDOLFO, and P10 good old Trystan. Absolutely fantastic racing there, and unfortunately that will be the last time that we do see the PB 140s this weekend, but don't you worry, they will be back in a few weeks time. So the next race, as we just see these riders making their way around, I think one of them is giving a hand, I think riding together, which is lovely to see. So yeah, absolutely holding each other up. Look at that sportsmanship there. That is you don't get that in many or any other championships. It's lovely to see. You know, it's such a lovely, as we've said many times, the atmosphere here is absolutely lovely. There we go. Oh, and he's got off now. He's gone for a little run. I think he said, no, I want to try and get a little bit fitter. I'm going to run to the pit lane instead. He's decided. So just getting a little bit better. Lovely little high five there. Go on. He can run down. Here he goes. He's going to run. Keep running. There we go. Go on. He's nearly got it. Is he going to get a high five? No, he's going to have a little conversation instead with the medical guy, I think. So yeah, absolutely sensational as he gets a little wave. Well done. That gets a round of applause for running that. That was he's run the back straight. That close to getting it, he says, which is brilliant to see there. But yeah, he's still happy that he's got it back to the pits and still in very good spirits, which we love to see. So the next race, which is just getting lined up, as you can see there in the background of that shot, is the Mini F1 Sidecar Championship. 6 riders, but so technically 12 because there are six riders. But yeah, it's looking like it's going to be a really, really good race again. And that is the amazing action here at Llandow. What an absolutely fantastic day of racing. Join us next time for round 3 at Ella Park. Thank you for watching.
On the road to MotoGP, this is FAB-Racing.